Hey, Paul, are you there? You're over at your parents' place right now, right? Could you get back over here right away?
Huh? Pardon me?
I think the baby is coming. I should head to the hospital. Could you drive me there right away?
No, can't do it.
Wait, what? Why not?
Would you just stop? I said no, for God's sakes.
Why do you just hang up? I said the baby is coming. I'm having contractions.
Stop bothering me. I'm not going to no hospital.
How could you say that, Paul? Do you realize what this means? If I don't go to the hospital right now, the baby will be in danger.
Just call a darn taxi. You can use your phone still, right?
Call a cab? Are you serious? It's your child that's about to be born. How could you even say that? Why are you being so cold? I can't do this alone. Paul, I need someone by my side.
Damn it, you don't give up, do you? I'm too busy to deal with you right now.
Don't tell me that Kathy is also having contractions. I remember her delivery date was about the same time as mine. I realize you're worried about your younger sister, but I'm in the same situation here, and you're my husband. Why do you ignore me and give priority to your younger sister? She's got her husband to look after her, doesn't she? Get your mom and dad to help out and work something out, would you? You don't all have to be over there. I mean, use common sense, Paul. This is nuts.
I said no way. Call a cab.
Paul, you stole my purse, didn't you?
Huh? What now?
I was getting ready to go to the hospital by cab and checked my bag, and my purse was nowhere to be found.
Oh, yeah. I was on my way to take Kathy to the hospital, and I realized I didn't have any money for a cab.
So you took my money? Are you serious?
Now, how the heck am I supposed to get to the hospital? Get this through your thick skull, Trish. I'm not going to the hospital for you. I made up my mind a long time ago that if Kathy's baby came the same time as yours, I would give her priority over you.
You cannot be serious.
What's wrong with giving your family members priority over a stranger? You had the gall to have your baby at the same time as her. You have no right to be griping on and on about this, so give it up.
Paul, I think I'm going into labor. The water.
Come on, Trish. Forget the cab. Just have the baby in the bathtub or something. Figure it out yourself. And Trish, don't make a mess.
Paul, Trish here. It was a boy. My neighbor, Carol, helped me out and took me to the hospital. I don't know what I would have done without her.
You have got to be kidding me. You had to impose on your neighbor?
I had no other choice. I had no money for a cab. I could hardly walk, for God's sake. Carol has kids, so she knows exactly how I felt and knew exactly what to do. Without her help, I don't know what would have happened. Once I'm back from the hospital, and if you have time, please thank her.
I can't believe you. We need to be on good terms with our neighbors. Don't go giving our neighbors a hard time, would you?
Hey, Paul, when are you coming to the hospital? I mean, you could at least pay one visit. I know you're all worried about your sister, but you're a father now. Don't you even want to see your son? As a father, that's the least you can do.
Sorry, but I just can't do that right now. Kathy wants me by her side. I just can't leave her. After giving birth, she's really drained of strength, not to mention her emotional state. No, I'm going to stick by her side until it gets better.
By the way, where the hell is Kathy's husband? Shouldn't he be there?
Pardon me?
I know she's there at your parents' place, but she lives just down the street. Shouldn't her husband be there by now? Shouldn't he be the one by her side?
Oh, yeah. Didn't I tell you? Guess not. She got divorced about a month ago.
Wait, what? She got divorced?
It seems that jerk was impotent, which meant that the kid wasn't his.
Am I hearing you right? That's crazy.
Well, it is what it is. So letting her have a kid all alone with nobody to rely on, it just seemed cruel, you know? As her big brother, I made up my mind to comfort her any way I could.
Hold on a second. I heard that Kathy was in the VIP room at this very hospital. Is that true?
Yeah, that's right. Don't go complaining that you had to stay in one of those rooms with several other patients. I'm not in the mood to hear that.
Relative to what you were saying, I sort of think that Kathy's husband would be demanding compensation for, it seems obvious. She's not exactly well off with that hanging over her head. How could she afford to stay in a VIP room?
Yeah, well, I paid for all that.
You cannot be serious, Paul. We can't afford to pay the hospital fee for 2 women. Are you nuts?
So you saying I should just dump on Kathy, huh? My little sister?
No, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that I wish you would have talked to me before making such a decision. Just think of our financial situation. There's no way we could afford to put her up in a VIP room.
Quit yapping on about what's already been done. What's the use? You keep this crap up, Trish. I may even think about divorcing. You don't want that, do you?
Pardon me?
You're the one that's gonna pay the price if that happens. You have no parents or siblings to fall back on.
That's a low blow, Paul. Even for you.
Anyway, why'd you even have to get pregnant? Just my little sister was plenty. We don't need any more kids in this world. This whole mess is all your fault. Why'd you have to go and get pregnant?
What you just said, I hope you don't regret it.
All the wife has to do is obey her husband. Can you at least do that? Kathy just woke up. Let's cut this short, shall we? See ya.
Hey Trish, how are you? Congratulations. Thanks for giving us a grandson.
Dad, wow, it's been so long. How have you been? Yeah, not bad.
Sorry to contact you out of the blue like this. I got your line ID from your friend Carol, your neighbor. Nice girl, by the way.
Yeah, she's great. She told me all about it. She's the one that got in contact with you, right?
Yes, that's right. It was by pure chance that I was told about your situation.
Chance?
You talked to Carol about me before, right?
Come to think of it, I did mention you when we were talking about family. With the baby coming and all.
Well, she remembered my name and it apparently rang a bell, so she checked me out. And it turned out that I was the president of the company she was working for. She couldn't believe it at first, but she verified the family ties and got in contact with me through the company intranet system.
Whoa, wait, back up. You're the president of a company now?
Yes, but it's only happened about 2 weeks ago. I'm really sorry I didn't contact you for so long. As you know, Mom and I divorced some time back. Fortunately, it was amicable. The main reason we got supported was basically because we were both workaholics, lol. After the divorce, I went overseas on business for almost 3 months, and we sort of lost touch. I didn't know she passed away until Carol told me about it. I felt terrible.
I see. I had no idea.
I really wish I was here. Maybe I should have stayed married to her, just separated.
You don't have to feel guilt over that. Mom knew how busy you were and how much your work meant to you. Knowing Mom, that's probably why she didn't contact you. She's always sent me financial support through the years and insisted that I give you enough breathing space so you can work to your heart's desire.
That's heartening to hear. Thanks for that, Trish. By the way, your husband, Paul, was it?
Huh? Yeah, that's right.
What do you plan on doing going forward?
Do? What do you mean?
I heard the whole situation from Carol, so you don't need to hold anything back. Tell me how you honestly feel.
Right. I suppose I'm leaning toward divorce. He gives his younger sister priority over me and the verbal abuse that I get. To be honest, I worry about our future together. Fortunately, I plan to return to work once I'm back on my feet. My company is pretty understanding when it comes to maternity leave. When I think about that, divorce seems the better option.
Okay, I understand. Then why don't we do this? Give me a bit of time to verify a few things.
Verify a few things? Like what?
When do you get released from the hospital?
Well, if all goes well, I should be out of here by next Wednesday.
Alright then. I'll contact you by then and we can work things out. Be patient, okay?
Not sure what you're up to, Dad, but yeah, okay.
Hey, Trish, are you there? Is that true about your dad? Is this some kind of joke? You never told me he was the president of that major corporation. Why didn't you mention this before we got married? How could you leave out such an important piece of information? Are you totally daft, Trish?
He contacted me just last week. It was the first time I heard he was the president of that company. I had no idea. He was working overseas for the past 3 months and just returned last week, and was promoted to president on his return.
If your father is the president of that major corporation, well, that means you're the daughter of a big shot. You're like a VIP or whatever.
Yeah, well, this only happened 2 weeks ago, so I was never a VIP or socialite or whatever.
But you are the daughter of a company president. That's a fact. What the hell is going on here? If I had known this earlier, I would have... This is not happening.
Hey, Paul, are you upset about something? You're acting real weird.
Yeah, I'm upset. How can I not be? Your father is a big investor in our company, and I mean one of the biggest.
Really, I didn't have a clue.
And his company is one of our top clients. One move, and he has the power to even bankrupt us.
Seriously, this is the first I'm hearing about this. You never mentioned your work stuff to me, so how would I know, right?
Apparently, your father contacted the president of my firm and wanted him to check out his employees. He eventually heard there was some sort of shenanigans going on. They found out that me and Kathy's work performance was, not up to par.
I'm just assuming here, but I bet you guys were forcing others to do your job and taking time off when you weren't permitted to. Is that about right?
Huh? Hold it a sec. Why do you know that?
Again, I'm just assuming, but considering your attitude toward everything, and this goes for your sister too, it just seemed like the logical thing you guys would do.
You sound like you're enjoying this. Like it's just some casual conversation or something. You realize that both Kathy and I have been transferred? And get this, we're not being transferred to the same location either.
Roger that. Don't go screwing up this time, Paul.
Roger, what? The hell do you think you are anyways? It was all your fault that we ended up in this predicament. What are you going to do about it? I went to your father's office and had a meeting with him. I got down on my hands and knees begging him to reconsider, but your father just ignored me. This whole thing wouldn't have happened if you had just told me about your father and not kept it a secret. How could you be so devious? If you'd only warned us, we'd have been able to be more careful at work.
Like I said, I haven't seen my dad in a while, and I only learned of this 2 weeks ago. How am I supposed to tell you when I didn't even know? And for your information, I had no connection to your job. You never told me anything about where you and Kathy worked or what you did. Yeah, so maybe it was my father who checked up on your work performance. But it was you guys who abused your position. To me, it looks like you guys are the only ones that are ultimately responsible. Don't blame all this on me. And another thing, I plan to divorce you once and for all.
What? Wait, divorce?
My father introduced me to a lawyer, so he'll probably be paying you a visit sometime soon. So I would appreciate it if you would sign it.
Trish, come on. You don't want to do this.
In addition, I plan to demand compensation for emotional distress that you caused all these years, especially when our baby was born. Any court will rule in my favor. Oh, and I will be demanding the proper child support for our son. We mustn't forget that.
No, you can't do this. I have a lot on my plate now. I have to pay for Kathy's stuff, and getting pushed out and transferred to some branch office somewhere means a reduction in pay. Taking money from me now? Your timing is impeccable, Trish.
Take money, huh? Isn't that what you did to me? When I went into labor, you stole my purse. Didn't you take money from me then? You left me there to suffer in pain because I had no money for a cab. If Carol hadn't been there to help, I could have died.
I need the money to take Kathy to the hospital. What can I say?
That's your problem, Paul. That behavior, that thought process, whatever you want to call it, that's what's screwed about you.
But the fact remains that I don't have any money.
Looks like this is going to go on into an endless loop, so let's cut it short.
But...
Oh yeah, one more thing. You and Kathy probably didn't realize this, but your mom and dad are both on my side with this.
Pardon me?
When Kathy went into labor, your folks went straight to the hospital with her, as any parent would. They only found out that I was all alone at the hospital was when they got home that night. They were furious for the way you acted towards your wife. They apologized profusely. Your mom was on the verge of tears. I ended up comforting her. They were overjoyed that I had reunited with my father and agreed to the divorce without complaint.
Are you really serious?
From now on, I want you to go through my lawyer. Anything you need, just contact them. Please don't contact me directly anymore. You got that, Paul?
Trish, you can't do this.
Goodbye. My son and I moved into my father's spacious condo downtown. On the day I was to be released from the hospital, my in-laws helped me escape without Paul or Kathy getting wind of it. They also helped in convincing Paul into agreeing to a one-time payment for damages and for child support. In return, I promised them that I would allow them to visit their grandson on occasion. I made sure I no longer had any contact with either Paul or his sister Kathy. I later heard that Kathy resigned from the company due to where she was being transferred to, and that she wanted to be with her brother. She blamed Paul for their downfall and insisted that her big brother take care of her as she stayed home with her child. That brother and sister relationship is a bit too bizarre for me. I heard the three of them went living at Paul's apartment somewhere up north. Most of the neighbors think that they are a family. I find it hard to believe that they even have any friends.